Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to Beer and Knowledge Center. In this today's session, we'll talk about Ansible introduction bit. So, what is Ansible and what is the purpose of using this Ansible and how we are going to use this Ansible as part of deployment. So, Ansible is a simple open source IT engine which automates application deployment. That means instead of manually automating or manually deploying your web server or website, this Ansible is going to be help you to automatically deploy your applications. And even in service orchestration or cloud provisioning and many other tools also can be deployed using this Ansible. So Ansible is very easy to deploy because it does not use any agents or custom security infrastructure. And also it is designed for multi-tier deployment. So Ansible does not manage one system at a time. It models IT infrastructure by describing all of our systems are interrelated. So Ansible completely agentless, which means Ansible works by connecting your nodes through SSH. This is way what the channel it is going to use it to connect to the no control machine to remote machine by default. But if you want to other methods for connection, like Kerberos or Ansible gives that option to you in different configuration. So if you look at the diagram of this thing, so there are two types of missions when we talk about this Ansible deployment. So control mission, remote mission, and control mission is nothing but from where you are managing other missions. That means from where you are running your Ansible program. Remote mission is nothing but to where you are deploying it. Let us say like I have two missions, mission one, mission two, and on mission one I have Ansible program and Ansible playbooks, and I wanted to deploy my website on and mission two. That is what a remote mission. So there can be multiple remote missions which are handled by one control mission. So for managing remote missions, we must install Ansible on control mission, right? So as I said, control mission is the mission where you will be having Ansible, and remote mission is a mission where you wanted to deploy your website, and remote mission may be a multiple things. So control mission requirements are, Ansible can be run from any mission with Python 2. So it's interrelated, interdependent with Python, like 2.6 or 2.7 or Python 3. So should be installed on control mission because Ansible is depending on Python because all playbooks are going to be run through Python. Windows does not support right now, and you can do that, in different way using Windows as subsystems, using the Ubuntu kind of stuff. And by default, Ansible uses SSH to manage remote mission. That's where like connecting from control machine to a remote machine. It should have some SSH mechanism where we are going to create a SSH key and can be shared between these two machines. That way, it is going to connect from control machine to remote machine. So Ansible does not add any database. It does not require any daemons to start or keep running. So while managing remote missions, Ansible does not leave any software installed or running on them. Hence, there is no question of how to upgrade when moving to a new version, right? Because it doesn't have any database or it doesn't have any service to be started or keeping it running while managing missions. Hence, even if it is coming with a different version, also no worrying on upgrading it. Directly, you can upgrade and you can use and run your playbooks, right? So, and going back to this diagram here, Ansible. So basically, it has a software provisioning and configuration management and application deployment, network operations, task automation, and IT orchestration and network automation. So these are the kind of characteristics and advantages of using Ansible. So software provisioning is simply a provisioning is the process of setting up IT infrastructure. It can also refer to the steps required to manage access to data and resources and make them available to users in system. That's where provisioning is happening through Ansible. And coming to network operations, so or configuration management, it's all about how to configure your website, and that thing can be happened using Ansible. Also, there are a lot of models available in Ansible. Using those models, you can easily create an app pool or web server, kind of virtual directory or kind of virtual folder or virtual application, and can be configure your Apple type and network settings and user types. And also you can set all your recycling aspects. Everything you can be configured using Ansible automatically. Okay, and application deployment also, it's one of the feature we have. That means run the control machine, so you can copy the application into a remote machine and then easily configure it to your relevant web server. So, and network operations. So again, network operations, it's center of NOC. It is in a centralized location where a company and their technical staff can provide supervision 24 hours a day to help monitor and manage company services or databases, external services, firewalls, and etc. So this kind of all operations also can be achieved using Ansible and task automation. So task task automation is the use of software to reduce the manual handling of simple tasks or a series of more complex tasks with the goal of making a processor more efficient and employ more productivity using task automation. So, I mean, task automation is a big topic for companies, no matter the industry. That means whether your job is in IT or another business area, you are likely hearing about automating as a way of saving money, moving or improving efficiencies and removing inherent errors, kind of stuff. So, automating one task may impress your users or make them aware that something has spent or sped up a little bit on its own. Simple automations will not make a big, no perceivable difference. But when automation is built into a series of processes, no, and workflows, which are then orchestrated to run automatically, there can be endless benefits. That is what IT orchestration and network automation. So these are the benefits of having Ansible. And going to the next one, this is all about control node, which we talk about control machine. And these are the remote machines. But there may be a multiple node 1, node 2, node 3 managed host. And this is the inventory file, and this is the playbook, which I'm having all the stuff in this YAML file. We'll talk about what is YAML file and what is playbook in next coming sessions. But in this session, we'll only talk about what is this control node and what are all these nodes. So as we discussed in the first PPT slide, control machine is nothing but a machine where you have Ansible software with your playbooks and inventory stuff. And inventory file is having all the IP address of your remote machines. The remote machines is nothing but in nodes, and these are communicating using SSH. So Ansible work by connecting to your nodes by using SSH here and pushing out small programs called Ansible models. So those are being added into your playbooks. Okay, so Ansible then executes these models or SSH by default and remove them when finished. Your library of model can reside on any machine, and there are no servers, no daemons, or any database required to run this Ansible. So Ansible uses playbooks, as I mentioned, to describe automation jobs, and playbooks uses very simple language, that is YAML. It's a human readable data serialization language, and it is commonly used for configuration files, but could be used in many applications where data is being stored. So this YAML 8 markup language, which is a very easy for humans to understand, read and write. Hence, advantage of having it in playbooks is very readable format and can be executed in the faster way. Hence, advantage is that even in the IT infrastructure, support guys can read and understand the playbook and debug if needed. So it's human readable format analysis, absolutely. Ansible is designed for multi-tier deployment. Ansible does not manage one system at a time. It models IT infrastructure by describing all of your systems are interrelated. Ansible is completely agentless, which means Ansible works by connecting your nodes through SSH, hence it can connect to any machine, any number of machines. But if you want other method of connecting other way, that also providing by Ansible. Okay, so this is how it is managing or remote machines using a playbooks. So this is all about introduction part, like Ansible, like it's an open source IT engine where you can freely download it from Google and you can install it. And Unix system, so default Windows is not supporting this stuff, but you can achieve using Windows subsystems, WLS, WSL or something, and you can install Ubuntu and you can install Ansible there, and we'll see that stuff in the next coming sessions, like how we are going to install Ansible on Windows using subsystem. and how to run this and how to create inventory file and playbooks and how to run this playbook and deploy these some example stuff on the remote missions. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe this channel for more videos on this. Thank you.